Testing 1, 2, 3, testing. Yeah, thank you.
Neka to i ostane. Yeah, sure. Jesam. Proživljavam malo sada. Skupljaju se utisci. Kasniš na čas. Još jedan put i ukor. Bio sam ovdje u studiju, pa vjerovatno. Evo polako. Buongiorno, signore. Sorry, I don't know. I'm here already for 10 minutes. I'm waiting for you guys. But you're Italian, so it's normal that you're late a little bit. Da će biti mjesta za sve. Boga mi, kao da trebam da dam neko saopštenje koje nikad pre nisam dao. To jest. Pa mislim šta reći. Da. To je 1000 kako lepih stvari.
Okay. We will start, of course, with questions in English.
Novak, many congratulations. Can you just describe what went through your mind at 5-4 and after the match point, after all those years you've tried to win this Grand Slam?
Well, a lot has been going on in my mind ever since I arrived in Paris. But I felt like this year when I arrived that it's really different from any other year. The relationship and connection I had with fans and with people around that are contributing to the organization of the event that I see on a daily basis, from security to, ball boys, ball girls, and all the people around. It was just different, and obviously, as any other year, I was hoping that this is the year. But I felt that kind of support and love from the people around that allowed me to be sitting here with the trophy. That's for sure. That kind of support was very well present at the stadium today. I entered the court quite prepared. I started well first game, and then I dropped the 4 games, and nerves kicked in. And I needed a little bit of time to really find the right rhythm and start to play the way I intended, which happened in the beginning of the second, and practically till 5-2 in the fourth set. It was flawless tennis. I really felt like played on a high quality, and putting a lot of pressure on Andy's serves, and just trying to hang in there. And I was coming into the court today knowing that I need to give it all in every aspect of my being, in every meaning of that word, in order to win this trophy. And so when I got to 5-2, I was just when I broke him the second time, I got to 5-2 in the fourth. I just started laughing. I don't know. I had that kind of emotion. It was not really. I didn't feel too much pressure, honestly. And maybe I took things a bit too lightly, and just played a loose game in 5-2. And Andy encouraged himself each point to to come back and fight through, which he did. And then 5-4, obviously 40-15, two close points. Then you train as a professional athlete to always be in the moment and focus on the next point, and not care too much about in the past or what is coming up, because you can't influence that. But we're all humans, and arriving so close like never before in my life to this trophy and winning it, it was, I felt it. I felt the tension, the excitement, all the emotions, you name it. And then I was just trying to focus on serving well, getting the first serve in, and trying to put myself in a good position, those few points, which I've done. And in the last couple of exchanges, in the last point, I don't even remember what happened. It was really one of those things where you just, the moments where you just try to be there, and it's like my my spirit has left my body, and I was just observing my body, fight the last 3-4 exchanges, going left to right, and hoping that Andy will make a mistake, which has happened. And just a thrilling moment, really one of the most beautiful I've had in my career. I hope that answers your question.
Okay. Novak, building on what you said, that you felt that everything was different this year, would you say that it started exactly at last year's ceremony because you told me in London that you never felt anything like that before? Yes.
I really felt something very strong with French crowd, with Wawrinka. It was just a very particular moment that I had never felt before on the court last year in the final, and I felt short. I didn't win that match, but I lost to a better player. But what happened afterwards, the appreciation and respect I got from the crowd, and that standing ovation really touched me deep inside. And I was so looking forward and so eager to come back and be part of this event again. And I think you're right. That's where it actually got to another level of connection.
Novak, what's it like to hold all 4 Grand Slam titles at the same time?
Well, it's incredibly flattering to know that Rod Laver was the last one, managed to do that. Of course, there's not many words that can describe it. It's one of the ultimate challenges that you have as a tennis player. So I'm very proud, very thrilled, obviously, and but it's hard for me to reflect on what has happened before and what's going to happen after. I mean, I'm just so overwhelmed with having this trophy next to me that I'm just trying to enjoy this moment.
Novak, could you tell us, when did you talk to Guga about to draw the heart and what he said to you? What did you ask him, and when did you have that idea about it?
Well, we had a nice couple of days of commercial shoot for Peugeot, and we did a couple of fun videos together, and then I had one of these traditional rides with him with a car and the camera inside, takes you from the tennis club to home, and then we talked, and then I mentioned that to him even before, that him drawing the heart on the court is for me personally most memorable moment that I have ever seen from Roland Garros, and it was something completely different. So I asked him if I have that permission and honor in case I win to do that. So he gave me that permission, and I still haven't seen him now, and hopefully I'll see him soon so we can share the impressions a little bit.
Novak over here. There was a period when you were banging your head against the wall against Federer and Nadal, and you didn't feel like you didn't know if you would ever break through. And now you've accomplished something that your 2 greatest rivals probably will never have the chance to do. And I'm just wondering if that's meaningful to you, and if so, why?
Well, first, they're still active, so players. So it's. I think it's fair to say that they'll still have a chance to do it. But they were both not a match, but a couple sets away from doing that few times in their careers. And I was saying a million times before, and I'll say it again. These 2 guys have, and Andy as well. The rivalries with all three of the guys have definitely in big part and big margin helped me to become a better player and helped me achieve all these things. And of course, I look, you know, the rivalries that we have are important for the sport. And in one way or another, you try to compare yourself to them and what they have achieved before, because Nadal and Federer were so dominant in the sport when Andy and myself, you know, came in the mix. But again, I'm just glad to be. At the beginning, I was not glad to be part of their era, but later on, I realized that in life everything happens for a reason. You're put in this position with a purpose to learn and to grow and to evolve. And you know, fortunately for me, I realized that I need to get stronger. You know, and that I need to accept the fact that I'm competing with these two tremendous champions, and that, you know, then everything was uphill from that moment on.
Novak, how important was saving the break point in the first game of the second set? Because it did seem like the match changed after that.
Well, yes, well, that was one of the crucial moments. But you know, I think in general, just in the second set, even that game that I was faced the break point, I still felt different than I felt in the first set. You know, I just kind of restarted my system and I got myself to run in a positive direction. You know, and I felt better, more comfortable on the court. You know, and as I said, you know, up to 5-2 in the fourth set, that, you know, that window of tennis was just great quality.
Novak, you said some very kind words about Roger and Rafa earlier. But do you feel by doing something that no one can say, well, Roger's done it so many more times, Rafa's done it so many more times, this is your own unique achievement in amongst those guys? Have you stepped out a little bit from under their shadow, do you feel?
Well, I don't think it's on me to judge that. You know, I'm not. In some ways, I was comparing myself to them in terms of game and what I need to do in order to learn to get the best out of my abilities and to try to overcome the challenge of winning against them and try to break their dominance. But I'm not comparing myself to them, you know, as people, as persons. We're all different and we're all unique in our own ways. And I have great respect for both of them and what they have, who they are, first of all, and what they have achieved in their life. And they mean a lot to the sport. Plus they are years ahead of me in terms of being part of the professional circuit. So, you know, they're great champions on and off the court, and because of the time that they spend on the tour, they have lots of fans around the world and lots of support, and it's wonderful to see. You know, I'm just glad to be competing with them. That's all. And I'm, you know, obviously trying to focus and direct my attention to what I do and to who I am and what I bring to the life and to the sport. So I think all of us contribute something different.
Novak, 25 years ago in 24, Jim Courier won this tournament, and everybody thought that he was very strong, very athletic, very powerful, but not so much touch. And he was a little bit annoyed about that. And I want to ask you today, you were unbelievable. Every time you were playing a drop shot or a counter drop shot, I mean, you did incredible things with the touch. It's something that we didn't expect a few years ago from you. Did you give you particular satisfaction, those points, pumped up, important? They were important points.
Some important points I won with drop shot, but I think percentage-wise, I've lost more points with playing a drop shot than I won today. And I put myself in a little bit of a tricky situation when playing those drop shots, when maybe I could have chosen a different selection of the shot. But regarding the touch, growing up in Serbia, we played a lot of mini tennis, a lot of different games in the service box, and I think that helps. That helps a little bit, and over the time, over the course of my career, I try to always keep that routine, especially in the practice preparation parts of the year, where I get to do that with with other players that I practice with. We get to play this. It's nice, it helps on clay especially. Yeah.
First of all, Nole, I'm very sad to report that Gustavo Kirten was extremely disappointed in your artwork. He felt the composition had problems and you need to work on it.
Yes.
But in a serious way, just talk a little bit. It's so, it's so hard to cross the finish line, really, after 2 weeks, after years, after a whole career. And just talk about that time when you felt you were almost out of your body. And
Yes.
looking at just
It's kind of out of body experience. I've felt it very few times in my life where my career where I actually felt that my body was just on autopilot, and that because of the emotions, because of everything starts from inside, the way you perceive things in life, that's how they happen for you. So obviously on the court, I realized the importance of the moment that I'm in, and also we played for 3 hours, and I had a long season so far, and we were both exhausted, and that last point was the moment where you get into this mode of autopilot, basically. And I felt that maybe for a bit longer time with Nadal in finals of Australian Open in 2012, where we played almost for 6 hours. So usually it happens when you don't have much fuel left in you and you have long exchanges. But yeah, as I said, I think between 5-2 and 5-4 and actually closing out the match, a lot has happened in my mind, in my soul. I think just being filled with joy of being, kind of serving for a match, being double breakup, laughing about the situation, being like overwhelmed with positive, emotions and sensations, and then, getting myself to the opposite and the opposite side where I'm tense and nervous whether or not I can close it out. But I guess in order for me to win this trophy, I had to go through that. When you achieve big things in life, you need to push yourself above the limit and really take the best out of your abilities on a given day. And you need to be ready for it, because when it's coming out hard.
You mentioned Rod Laver earlier, and of course what he did in 1969. Is that idea of a calendar year Grand Slam something that ever entered your mind as something to try to aim for or dream of? And now that you're halfway there, which even that is quite rare, just to get the first two of a year, does it seem achievable and something you want to strive for now?
Well, I don't want to sound arrogant or something, but I really think that everything is achievable in life, and winning this trophy today gave me so much happiness and fulfillment that I'm trying to grasp, and I'm trying to cherish, obviously, these moments right now. Whether or not I can reach a calendar slam, that's still a possibility, but I don't think about it right now. Right now I'm just try to enjoy this experience of winning the trophy that I never won before.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.